would you like to take us through the solution quick, just a quick overview to show how obvious it is? I'm going to say obvious. It does seem obvious now I know what it is.
It's not obvious because what I'm about to say is going to go against everything that you know about weight loss. So we have a three-step process. And so the first thing that we do when we have a client come in is we assess, where are they? I will have many clients saying, I'm eating 1,200 calories, and then I ask, do you track that? They're like, no, I just know. And so it's like, we start with that. Let's actually see what's coming in. Let's see where you're at. It is not a shocker for me to find out that these women are only getting 60 to 70 grams of protein per day. And so, but they tell me, but when I try to get in more protein, I constantly go over my calories. And so that's a different issue there because it's like your calories are so low. How could you not go over that? And then also relying on peanut butter as a protein source.
You mean it's
That's
not a protein
right.
source?
Peanut butter.
Come on. Peanut
I
butter is
know.
the biggest protein
Shocker.
source we know of.
Sugar. So once we start to educate, we start in a maintenance phase. This is the where we fire up the metabolism. So we call this the fire phase. And this is about bringing your calories up to maintenance calories, which nobody ever maintains the thought of maintenance calories. Nobody knows what maintenance calories are because what we do is we go to a calorie calculator and we say, I want to lose a pound a week, or I want to lose 2 pounds per week, right? My Fitness Pal, you can put in how many pounds you want to lose per week, and then it will set your calories. And then we get married to that number. So for me, it was 1430. Like that was like, I was like, okay, I need to lose a pound a week. Of course, that's what I want to do. I want to lose a pound a week. And I did that for years. I'm like, that's my calories, right? I thought that was my calories because I always wanted to lose weight. I didn't
Oh,
understand that that is a deficit. What is that? How do you get that number? That number is your maintenance calories. How many calories do you need to maintain your weight? Well,
oh,
why would, I don't want to maintain my weight. I want to lose weight, right? But
yeah.
that's where the number comes from. Maintenance is where you don't gain or lose. This is where your body feels the best. It's your metabolism. I understand you probably have some extra weight on your body, but even if you calculated, say you're a 150-pound woman and you want to be 135 pounds, what does it take to maintain that weight, right? It's
Yeah.
not a huge amount of difference. And so if we can get your maintenance weight, we bring you up to your maintenance calories, which is scary. So my coaching is not so much about the just macros and workouts, right? It's a lot to do with mindset and undoing all of the programming that we have around diets and how that works. And so it's really, really scary when somebody comes in. Now here's the kicker, right? They're eating like 1,200 calories, but on the weekends, they're like, oh, well, I don't know. Like, so we set ourselves up for like this binge and restrict cycle. So we take ourselves out of a deficit. But if your body hates that process, by the way, hates it, hates it, hates it, you're giving it nothing during the week, right? We're missing out on, say, your maintenance calories. It's very common to be anywhere from 1,800 to about 2,100 calories for most women. My maintenance is 2,000 calories. I'm 5'4", 130 pounds. So to maintain that, it's 2,000 calories, right? But to lose weight, it was 1,430. So we get stuck at these calories. 1,200 is like the kind of the gold standard of what people think that they need to eat. So imagine you're eating 1,200 calories, but your body needs 2,000 calories between minerals, the nutrients, and the fiber, plus the
Hmm.
protein. And it's just not getting that. And so your body is just like trying to survive. And then you treat it like a dumpster on the weekend, right? Where we're just like, you know what? I can't take it anymore, right? I'm hungry. YOLO. I have this event, right? There's no way you can stick to 1,200 calories. Now we're adding in alcohol, pizza, all kinds of stuff, sweets and like, hey, like, cause now your body's like, oh, she's feeding us. Like,
Yeah.
yay, right?
Hold
Let's,
on to
let's
this.
more.
Yeah, it's like
Like,
what?
She's
Survival.
feeding
That's
us, thank God, right? And your
yeah.
body's not asking for chicken and broccoli at this point. It's like, oh, you like this, so
Oh,
we're just going to send these craving cues, right? You also know, I'm just going to start this all over again on Monday. Your body hates that. It can't deal with all of these junk calories that we're bringing in. So we're in
oh,
this, it's not a great state. And this is where we just start actually piling on fat. We start storing more fat. Your body is hoarding those calories during the week, packing on those pounds. But then when it gets the calories right where we're saying, hey, you need to eat more, it doesn't know what to do with these. And so then it stores those. So this is why the body composition changes for women in their late 40s. It starts right around 45. We just have more fat on our bodies. So I was a little tangent, but maintenance calories, we start here to feed up their body, and then we start to see digestion improve because my ladies, they're not going to the bathroom every day. We have more energy. Fatigue is a huge problem for this demographic. Tired, we have no motivation, right? Of why,
that's
how
hard.
could you? You don't have any
No.
calories. How could you have the energy,
If you
right?
don't have the
Brain
energy,
fog.
it's really hard, isn't it, to even think straight or choose the
Yeah.
right things? Well, because you can't be bothered. Yeah.
Brain fog is a huge thing, right? And that it has everything to do with the amount of calories that you're taking in.
Absolutely.
And just like general moods, libido is all tied in. So we bring your calories up. Now, most of my clients whenever I interview them on a podcast, I'm like, how was that experience going through the maintenance? And they were like, it was scary. I thought I was going to gain all this weight. I thought I was going to get huge. Right? Because now you're forcing me to eat more. You want me to eat how many calories, right? That's what I get. And they're like, oh my God, there's no way, right? Because they're so trained and stuck in this deficit, in this deprivation. And so now we start introducing foods. I'm like, let's have some oatmeal. Let's have a banana. Let's have an English muffin, and they're like, we're allowed to have that. And I'm like, yes. In fact, I
Oh,
insist, let's have some sweets during the week. If you want a glass of wine, have a glass of wine so that it's not so tempting on the weekends. And now we
yeah.
have more
Moderation.
calories to work with, and the body will thank you. Now it doesn't need to hold on to the fat. Now it's like, okay, boys, right? Talking to the fat, it says, let's get out of here. We don't need this anymore. So my clients, maintenance, you don't lose or gain weight, but they will lose fat because now we're altering their body composition because we're meeting protein goals, right? We're actually hitting those. Most of the clients, when they come in, protein is low, carbs are high, fats are usually, somewhere. And so we make that shift. That in and of itself will change the body composition. But what's really going on is the metabolism is getting what it needs, and now it can
Oh,
offload the fat. And so they will lose. It's not uncommon for them to lose 4, 6, 8, 12 inches, and it always comes off the belly first. So
yeah.
super exciting.
Get back in the jeans.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Just because you were talking about a little bit about composition of like the foods, and you were saying that most people kind of tend to be eating more of the carbohydrate and the fat could be a bit in the middle. But why is it that people don't easily go to the protein? What do you think is the problem there? Because we're not taught to, or is it just because the carbohydrates are just something that's more readily available? I know that
Oh
it kind
yeah.
of gives
Oh
a bit
yeah.
of a
Carbs
boost
are easy.
energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
carbs are easy. My
Yeah,
pantry's right
gluten
there, right?
bread.
There's
Yeah,
there's all
pastry.
kinds of there's all kinds of
Pastry.
carbs in my pantry.
Oh, I've just been shopping and mine is just full. I went, it's Christmas. I'm going to let
Yeah.
myself have
Yeah.
biscuits and turon and what else did I buy? Biscuits. To say
More
biscuits. I
biscuits.
think biscuits. And I bought a
So
load of
yeah, I
flour and
mean,
eggs for baking. It's
yeah,
for
of
the men, of course.
course. Um, Protein has to be planned, protein has to be cooked, but I make this very easy. I have my lazy girl cooking guide. I'm more of an assembly cook rather than anything. I'm very much into convenience cooking, but you have to have the foods on hand. So there are plenty of protein sources in my pantry with, cans of tuna, things that I can have like in my freezer. So if you have those things on hand, it's going to make it easier, but we don't think about that. And then also, like, I don't know, like, what do you mean? You're putting 2 ounces of meat on your sandwich? Like, okay. So it's about that awareness. Like we could just double that. We could even triple that so that you're actually having more protein per meal. And so that's what I start with my clients is just educating them on that, getting them where they can get around 30 to 40 grams of protein per day. If we can hit 120 grams of protein, we're
Yay.
golden.
I'm
So
now
we just got to
visualizing
figure
big
out how to do
fat
that.
chicken sandwiches. I'm like, I'm loading in my mind. I've got this big, loads of chicken breast sandwich in my mind. I've got these big chicken sandwiches coming up.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
I'm a
protein.
big bowl. I love a bowl, right? So I will take rice and then chicken and then some kind of sauce and then some kind of cheese because that's what makes it good.
Oh,
Right? And so
yeah.
we're always like, oh, I shouldn't have that. Like, oh my God, no, no rice, you know. I mean, I have people that aren't eating rice or potatoes or pasta. And I'm like, what are you doing? We do need to have those carbs. So for most of my ladies, I'm going to start them at about 150 to 200 grams of carbs. Do you know how much pasta you can have and rice and fruit and vegetables? And yes, we can have cookies in there, you know, some wheat thins, some chips, some crackers. So it's coming out of restriction and coming out of that scarcity and living in abundance and giving your body what it needs and it will thank you. I don't eat healthy. I think that a lot of women try to eat healthy and it's actually sabotaging them. I eat plenty of fruits and vegetables and things like that, but I'm not one of those who will say, "Oh no, you should never have chips or French fries or anything like that." You know, I mean, we're in our 50s for crying out loud. We don't
Yeah, you got
have
my
that
life.
many years left. Let's
Yeah,
freaking enjoy
exactly.
it. I
Yeah,
mean, we're at the beginning of the end here, you
yeah,
know.
exactly. You gotta enjoy your food. There was actually something that my lovely man does, and he actually makes chips. He basically does them in the oven with olive oil, and olive oil is supposed to be healthy. Is that true? Is olive
Oh,
oil
all
healthy?
foods are healthy. All foods support the metabolism. All foods are healthy, right? Some foods are going to be healthier than others. That's
And
all.
then we do a chicken burger, so it's literally chicken breast, and then we obviously have tomatoes and the tomato and lettuce and stuff, and then so we got the baked chips, which are basically just potatoes baked in the olive oil, which are crispy, and then we have the burger, which is chicken breast, like a nice big chicken breast
Yeah.
with loads of like
Have
salad
some
in.
cheese on there. Let's throw some avocado on there.
I
Let's make
love
it good.
cheese for tea.
Let's make it taste good.